Hello, dear Marines. You have a guy with the news that showed you, I don't know, he was donating or something like that. Also, worse than criminal incompetence, all kinds of impositions through pseudo positive fake integrity using pretended donation. Oh, that's a good person who is not. Those people associated on and off the location further involved with child offenders. Whole bunch of people associated with the Kerr family, child offenders with on and off Hartford locations through time. Whole bunch of people associated with a St. Anthony's school church there, right in downtown Hartford. The owners of the buildings associated with Allegro's Cafe guy, his neighbors. I don't know this Allegro Cafe guy, but if that's who I think it is, I can only know by looking at his face again. But that was recorded, confessed, and demonstrated by people associated with the Firenze family, by two Mendez police, by Chet Casper, a whole bunch of people associated with downtown Hartford criminally through time with identity theft, crimes with databases, sequence shift crime roles, fake conversations with people, pretending people to fake locations, crime acts roles with a whole bunch of evidence perception predators. There's a Janito Mendez and Eric Mendez involved with a whole bunch of nature of drug crime roles with child sex offenders, federal crimes with evidences interbranch inside the Britain Superior Court, on and off the campuses of each age. A whole bunch of people with the Kerr family, with Demoros, with on and off Trinity College, on and off CCSU, federal crimes with people, crime roles, from crime acts that are roles with crimes with former director of the FBI, all the way down federal criminals that were in my campuses that were used for crimes that measures where you're going to walk. They have someone walk up and make a statement to you criminally. You as federal crime acts roles. This is where and how they're keeping the overt criminal enterprises with federal evidences crimes with the whole all that private interbranch and intercampuses, hiding life aggressions, having that maintained, used to keep them criminally foreign influence through time. Whole bunch of people associated with the Mendez brothers recorded, confessed, and demonstrated federal crime acts roles with them. In other words, these are people that were raised victim predators since they were kids. I never had anything to do with attaching me to fake locations. See, the Mendez police were in classes I never had. I never was in locations with them. Every they criminal exploitations of each location tied to their crimes with extended family members of a house in my neighborhood, associated also with Navy through time interstates, other family members with the Trade Center attack, other criminal uses of the sensibilities of each age of fact sheet nature. All these people lying to girls and acting through a detective Dylan with a Sean Dillon recorded, confessed, and demonstrated him speaking through his father and people associated with town offices involved with them criminally further. Now, Sean Dillon is a Marine because I saw him in a picture somewhere. But see, now these are people involved in crimes with the houses in my area through time, my new and past neighbors, on and off CCSU, on and off Trinity College. Whole bunch of people, federal crimes with federal criminals that are co-defendants of former director of the FBI. Crimes with WFSB, fake news, crime acts. Various natures of crime acts also used to hide their life progressions from their interbranch drug cliques, private drug crime cliques, ones with overt criminal enterprise and drugs doctor crimes with their drug cliques. They have like a Leahy family associated with a whole bunch of people in the Britain Superior Court, judges retired and standing, all kinds of natures of police cliques with crimes with the corners of streets, with on-off campuses, with child sex offenders and their family members further involved with other natures of crime. Whole bunch of people associated with the Stop and Shops intercities, associated with mayors retired and standing criminally involved. Whole bunch of people with confessions and crimes. One of them said that and was also demonstrated. There's a Mike Levine involved with this criminally, with the on-off Stop and Shop, and with the foreign and domestic military, with federal crimes and with criminally foreign influence natures. You know, sick delusions wrought too, sciences, each of them. We have all victim predators. That's why no one speaks for Hartford, Connecticut. And you have these sick fake punks with this. Is this Casper family in the military? because he deserves a beating. He deserves a beating. Don't pretend I ever had a conversation with him or anything, a class with him, or was in the location with him. No, in other words, I noted the exception. That this is also people involved through time, crimes on and off the campus, and further recorded and confessed, further in foreign and domestic, on and off the middle school, on and off the child campuses with the police forms that were recorded and confessed, further retired and standing police forms and principals involved criminally with the kids. Now they're pretending they have integrity with military that is intermilitary. They don't. They already invested their family members federal crime acts rules. Now these are people who lifted people to CIA, FBI, worthless, associated with these interbranch, individually grouped crime acts methods. See, we have crime acts methods here. So we have a problem with the people with charity, because we have more than we need owed by these people, and they have behavior crimes. See, because they're using Facebook to prevent for free speech, and to prevent not just free speech, so they can pretend emotions, because they prevent sequence shifts from being reported, because those sequence shifts show a whole bunch of natures of federal crimes, uses of WFSB through time, uses of Fox Connecticut News through time, right downtown Hartford, right next to the areas with shootings. Same sick people with the shootings in Wethersfield. Real, especially if made up, because those were like the Mendez, Janito Mendez, his brother involved fake attaching me, a whole bunch of people, fake words, fake locations, fake conversations with them, and they never were. Writing the name of police equipment, putting fake recorded things. Crimes with a whole bunch of people facilitated with a Sammy Vega. Now they can't. There are already crimes with the investigators of such. There are the witness protection program, overt criminal enterprises, overt ones of different nations, mixed. All punks that came up to me, I don't know them. They pretend illusions. The interbranch drug clicks, the military drug clicks, all on and off Two-Rod Highway, involved with sequence shifts with them. Of Wethersfield Pizza, her husband and her recorded, confessed, and demonstrated involved wire crimes, all kinds of federal crimes with judges retiring state, police forms retiring state, people on off Two-Rod Highway, on off Hang Dog Lane, recorded, confessed, demonstrated, repeated, involved crimes with Mark Violet. Mike Violet with them, sequence shifts with them, drug crime rolls with them, where that was involved with them, with judges and interbranch, forging names, switching names, pretending things into databases, sequence shifting, crimes with people with identity thefts on off the places at the end of the Berlin Turnpike. Now that's involved with all kinds of evidence crimes, why the natures of identity theft, forging names, switching sequences. Then they have people, the only time they talk, because there's the limited context, they know you. They knew then those people are going to have to value sequence shift roles with those whole groups, like a Fred Grisey, a whole bunch of people with the name Soda, no, tied to the Sandy Hook, involved a whole bunch of database clicks, involved crimes further from my town into branch with databases, intercampuses, child offenders. See, now we need someone to be able to free speech and keep and use real reality. But we have the interbranch, we have all intermilitary, recorded criminally foreign influence, all kinds of crime methods, nature's roles with psychology, physical delusions. You guys have a problem. You can't follow attention to detail yet. You're still sick with these punk fakes with psychology thinking for you. Don't think for me. Get them to one name and sequence with you. Why you have the guy with the Stop and Shop? Don't pretend you're for union rights. Don't pretend with you sick punk fakes. You get me a response now. Interbranch, get them to one name and sequence. Forging names, switching names. Those same crime acts are with them with live progressions with area. People playing games like that because they're offensive evidence reception crimes, mandate crimes, uses of the sensibilities, all kinds of roles with KKK theme, Confederate flag theme, Puerto Rican theme, crimes with the shared policing of the stores, not just Stop and Shop, on off these locations with these stores, foreign and domestic, whole bunch of people on off associated with New Britain Court through time, a whole bunch of people associated with a scuba shack, recorded and confessed involved. A whole bunch of people with the policing of Coles, the policing of the on-off Town Line Drive, all the locations there. From inter-branch, foreign and domestic, military, foreign and domestic. Keep my name out of your heads and get onto paper. Let's go. Since I was a kid, this is worse than extortion. These are the real bad people and crime methods with this Leahy family attached me to fake conversations that weren't at all. Forging names, switching names. I had conversations with this about the CIA, spreading lies about that on Facebook with people. Then they block the people. They're lying. These are people with child offenders. Where is this? You know, they have this they have a Marisol recorded and confessed. They're also involved with the online policing, with the child sex offenders, and the investigations of them, into what people say, involved with the sickest natures of crime, and people associated with Sammy Vega on off Hartford Hospital, on off those locations at the end of Franklin Avenue, Wethersfield Avenue, involved with a whole bunch of people from my town, criminally involved through time, facilitated to it. I just remind. Get me a response in writing, because we have a detective Samuda. We also have this intercultural rackets, sick natures with these courts, too long. How many cases and how many people they hurt in sustained ways, sicker than most killers? Why do you think they're these patterns? We're still in this pathology of infrastructure forced. You can't tell our American history and keep that value. A 10. Kempis Marcy's calls you home again. Hartford, Wethersfield, wake up. You have fake leaders. You have them wearing uniforms to hide. All lies. Come on, get me where's this Rob schedule? What's his position? I never had a conversation with him in my life. His sister pretended the other. Sick! They share girlfriends, each one of them involved with the same courts, criminally involved. The same medical families, criminally involved. Same fire departments, their family members, the judges, criminally involved. All these people tied to the Samuel Dick's house, criminally involved. What's the position of this Joshua Julian? What's his family's roles? Because they were involved when I was a kid with the confessions with the people tied then to crimes with Trinity College. There are a whole bunch of people with state police involved with them criminally. Like, facilitated to it. Former director of the FBI down. Federal criminal co-defendants of his. Got a daughter in my grade. Other ones, crimes with other ones, all tied to the ones as crimes with the people in my area. Now, that came in when I was in 4th grade. Also with the relatives further recorded and confessed crimes with the campuses, with the child offender campuses. They're also recorded, confessed, and demonstrated lying about my behavior. And to get away with it, they're recording databases where they attach me and other people to fake sequences, fake conversations that weren't at all, forging names, switching names. Now, these are interbranch drug clicks through time, way worse. Interbranch, they're punishing people for way less, way worse than that. They're hurting each age. These are people with the doctors using the drug crimes to hide their life progressions, as ones with badges, real sick, fake, pokes. I'll show you how this thing. Does that doctor, what's that guy's, those got these ones on the line, are involved crimes with their media? What's his name? Any one of these, Dr. Drew, all of them, rise, respond. You have obligations here. Switch names, forge names, pick one sequence, and get down. It's a branch. All gather around. Especially if their reports on the police reported fake. They have the name Vega involved with it too, with the foreign domestic. I love Harvard Hospital with avoid criminal enterprises through time, media fake crime acts rules. What is this Casper family doing with the businesses downtown, with the downtown Harvard clubs, with these federal crime identity theft clicks? Who trained these 2 Manders police involved with the child offenders? Federal crimes, fake conversations with me. Police crimes, with fake recorded things, things. I tell you things. These are people, federal criminals associated with former director of the FBI as his co-defendants. Federal crimes with them leading up to and in cases. Time to interbranch, New Britain Superior Court, recorded and confessed all nature of demonstrated all nature of federal crime, child sex offenders, attaching kids to fake locations, interbranch crime laws with these crime uses of these Mendez police. Stop pretending you had a conversation with me. You're stuck. You faked it in the past. A whole bunch of people next to the Samuel Dick's house, the Agnew family, forwarded drug clicks. You lady family, get down. Joshua Julian, further roles with them with Facebook, used to hide their life progressions by spreading lies and rumors and pretending things. Pretending people are fake locations. Pattern of it, tied to people onto a highway. The hang dog went out of their way to pretend they know me. Oh, they're also lying about my behavior. You get me a response. Get me a response in writing now. You don't be cowards with them, Wethersfield, Connecticut. This is on off the federal, this is on off Yale, on off intercampuses of each age. This is people with triage relationships with a whole bunch of people associated with a whole bunch of natures of court, especially distinctly, not distinctly each nature of them. On off their state judicial branch offices. Whole bunch of people with Fox Connecticut News. With WFSB, crimes with retired and standing chief police chiefs. Get down! Or gather around. Victims, but they're victim predators. Here,